No! Come on! I'm here! Thank you, Petro! I love your music! You're the best! Oh my god. Let's click off that. I don't know why I've got my headphones on. Why are they still here? There we are. Oh my god. Such retro videos playing in the background. Fuck. 2016, man. What a year. A year of great disappointment, but also a year of great progress. Juxtaposed with that. Hello! How's everyone doing? I don't normally stream this early in the morning. So this early in the morning, it's 11 a.m. where I am. I got up at 5 a.m. this morning. Couldn't sleep, so I watched ATV and then RtV. I did a video on Aaron's interview about 3.1 and some game mechanics moving forward, which is all actually quite interesting because he basically says they wanted to get character customization in 3.0 like we knew, and they're still working on it. So potentially we've got it for 3.1, potentially we've got female models for 3.1, although he kind of said don't expect female models for 3.1. But this year, hopefully, some reasonable character customization. Tier 0 of it, the first time we get it, will be pretty basic, but I'm expecting it to get the female models and the male models by the end of the year to be actually reasonable in their customization. Actually us be able to do that, which would be useful, and those persistent changes to be saved to those characters. Now they were also talking about 3.1 with Aaron about getting the optimization and performance right, and by that I mean that they are going to make it work significantly faster. So that was one of the main key features, just like code optimization, use of more CPU cores, graphics optimization, all that sort of stuff. Lots of work on the economy. Interdiction's going to get some work as well. And it sounds like they are shooting to try and get service beacons in 3.1 as well. That will be the distress signals and distress calls that you can put out as a player to say, I'm stranded on a planet, this is my location, come and pick me up, have some UEC. Or, I'm being attacked by pirates, come and get some UEC. There's going to be other game features as well. There's going to be ships and that sort of stuff. But they are... and there's going to be changes, hopefully iterations and improvements to combat in space, which is what we really want at the moment. At the moment, the kind of general movement when you're in combat, when you're fighting, it doesn't feel right. There's the dead zone on the mouse that doesn't work right. The IFCS doesn't work right. It oscillates and puts you off, and there's loads of slide. Aiming doesn't work. ESP doesn't work properly. There's loads of little issues like that altogether make for not as fun a playing experience as we've previously had in space combat, which is annoying because they're moving forward with all these mechanics, but some of the core concepts of the game are a bit lacking when it comes to that. And they talked about, in a bit more detail, hotfixes and patches. So they are moving to that quarterly reschedule. So March is going to see 3.1, June's going to see 3.2, September's going to see 3.3, and December's going to see 3.4. And those patches are literally going to be whatever they've got ready. They are going to have targeted goals for those patches, but if an item's not ready for that patch, they're going to move it to the next one. They're not going to hold those patches back, which is great. I mean, you might see like a day or two delay or something like that off their expected goal because they're testing something or whatever, but it's not going to be weeks or anything like that, which is great. It's exactly what we've wanted for ages. What else did they say? What was I talking about? 3.1. Oh yeah, so that doesn't... They can still have, with that quarterly reschedule, hotfix patches. So hotfix patches, we will get them out if we've got them. And smaller patches are also potentially going to be there as well, with ships and smaller levels of content. So we can expect more patches than just the quarterly ones. But that's if they're ready, if they're sensible, that sort of stuff. So the potential is there. Anything else that's major before we move on to anything else? Let's have a look. Blah, 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 blah. Community heavily influences them, which is good because, we're the people that hold them accountable. No, I think that was pretty much the quick overview of Aaron's interview. If you would like to watch my video on it, which has just gone up, There you go. I've got over 94,000 subs. You can see it below. It's over 94,000. Hopefully hitting 100,000 by the end of February would be a beautiful, beautiful thing. Oh my god. It's like mine and Noobifire's like original goals were to hit 100,000. He's over a third of the way there now, and I'm almost there. And then the sky's the limit after that. There's no real reason to try and hit 100,000 other than it makes you feel like you've done something with your life or nothing with your life. I don't know. Pick one. But they came out with the monthly report as well, the monthly studio report. In that was quite a lot of information. Again, I've done a video on that if you want to check it out on my channel. They do talk about some cool things. There are a variety of ships which they have they're not talking about yet, basically. They're going, we're working on these ships. They're coming soon, or we'll reveal them soon. They also worked on the F8 Lightning. That's gone into white box phase. What else? There was some cool ship updates for the Hammerhead, which is making really quick progress. They're working on interiors and stuff of it as well at the moment, and because they've got the blocked out Aegis kit from using the Javelin and the Idris, so they've got those kits that because everything's pretty modular when they create things now for their pipelines. So the Hammerhead's made massive progress. The revised Avenger, we should see more of that soon. All the variants have also been scaled up now. They're in different levels while they're like finalising their exteriors of completion. But you're going to get more money worth for your Avenger, if you see what I mean. It's been scaled up. It's going to look cool. I'm not sure, actually, saying that, if they're just scaling it up and not changing any of the hard points, you're getting more of a living space, but potentially your ship will be more vulnerable because it's larger. If you see what I mean? You can take more damage or get hit it more easily. 600i has gone into final art. I'm interested in seeing when they go with that. Obviously, the Gladius, we saw some of the updates to it further in the Squadron 42 Vertical Slice. The Eclipse is being grey boxed and it's made a load of progress. Vandal Blade looks amazing. Let's show you the Vandal Blade. Bam. So the Vandal have had a bit of an update. We haven't seen much of what that update looks like, other than this ship now, really, and the previous concept work being redone on the Vandal. So it looks cool. I'm liking they've got a bit more of a look to them. It's going slightly more towards the Xi'an from where they were before. Obviously, it doesn't look Xi'an, but it looks more Xi'an than it did previously. See what I mean? Also, this is cool. So this is the new way they're going to be doing shield effects. So this is GPU particles. You're going to get hit, and rather than a mesh, it will make an impact on your shield and then kind of be absorbed. Oh, I just punched my microphone, and then be absorbed into your microphone as you punch it. But yeah, so they kind of be absorbed into the shield, and it kind of hugs your ship properly. I'm assuming if you lose part of your wing or whatever, that deformation will affect your shield, which is going to be cool. They do like to make those cool little improvements. Was there anything else cool in here? There's a rocket launcher. They've been working on the FPS side, which only saw a little bit of it. But I want a rocket launcher. Some cool new weapons. Volumetric tech looks cool. We know everything in Star Citizen is going to be super pretty, and that's not surprising. New website and roadmap schedule type thing will be going live at some point in January. We haven't had a updated schedule report this week, but I'm assuming and hoping that we get that new website ASAP. Some cool OMC, guys. But yeah, lots of information there about 3.0 and Squadron 42 Vertical Slice. And my video just covers everything else that's not super obvious. So check that out if you want to. Bang. Now, what else have we got? Anything else exciting before we move on to questions? Lots of people are talking about this article, which is just a little article saying every time Star Citizen gets an update, everyone forgets it's an alpha. It's quite a nice, well-balanced, written article from an author I haven't seen before, which is pretty cool. People should check it out. I haven't tested Star Citizen on Vorpix yet, on VR, but I will. I'll try and get that done Monday. I'm going to take a little break after today from Star Citizen for this weekend. I've been doing a lot of Star Citizen recently, and I've just gone through the monthly reports, the ATV and the RtV, and I'm tired, so I'm going to take a little tiny break after this stream, because I've been playing it so much. Alright. No, this game will not be going to the Xbox One, although never rule anything out in the far future, but not planned to come out on any form of console. It's PC only. It's focused on PC only. You might see a console port in the far future, but it's unlikely. Hello, hello, hello. You want to check to see what's the best memory configuration for your motherboard when you're talking about 4 8 times and 2 16 times sticks for RAM. I suspect that 4 8 times will be cheaper as well. If you're not looking to upgrade beyond 32, then 4 8 times 8 might be a better idea. Thank you very much. I appreciate the love. I'm just, I want to play some other games as well. I want to chill. Star Citizen, very much for me now, is a bit of a job in the fact that I don't know how to stop making videos and stop working for any period of time. Like, I'll be playing Star Citizen and I go, oh, I want to make a video on that. Well, any time I'm playing, I'm always recording, that sort of stuff. So I need to sometimes turn my brain off, which is something I haven't learned to do properly. But I'm gonna play some PUBG and some VR stuff, and I might stream. I probably will fucking stream. I don't know how to stop working. I love what I do. I think it's amazing. I have a AMD 8350 and 10 gig 1080 blah blah blah. I don't understand how I can get some more frames. I mean, I can send you my performance guide. Some stuff's just not optimized at all. Haven't experienced the AMD stuff at all. They are working on optimization. Do I remember when the Taurus is scheduled for release? I would expect it to be in 3.1. As far as I was aware, they've made great progress with the variants of all of the Constellation series, the Phoenix and the Taurus, obviously. So, yeah, I'm expecting that to come pretty soon. 3.1 almost certainly. If you prefix any questions, the questions in question in brackets, I will try and answer them. Are you worried that game's final MVP will be incomplete compared to what most backers are expecting, or that CIG will drop the project at some point? I'm not worried about them dropping the project at some point. No more worried than I am that, my computer will explode or I'm a lizard person. I mean, it's reasonable to be cautious about a long-term project like this. I mean, stuff could happen that causes the project to effectively be cancelled or stop. That's just very unlikely. The final MVP, they're not really going to have a final MVP in the traditional sense. You'll have a beta, which will be seen by most as the MVP. That will be somewhere like probably early to mid 2020 now, thinking about it realistically. Although I want to see the schedule report before I have my own, rework my own internal schedule that I expect. You're likely to see like 5 to 10 systems, and you're likely to see all of the core mechanics they've promised at varying levels of completion, and that sort of stuff. So you get that for like the minimum viable product, as you call it. But I mean, that it's a game that they'll release when it is got a reasonable amount of content, and they'll say this is like the version 1 release. That's more likely to be like, I'm expecting it now towards the end of 2021 maybe, 40 systems sort of thing, and a bit more flesh on the bones of those mechanics. It's not going to be the kind of shallowness that some of the other games have, like Elite Dangerous. Elite's a great game, and it's complete, and it's a full game, but it's quite shallow with the gameplay compared to what Star Citizen wants to do. But yeah, I think it's reasonable to be cautious about stuff. I don't think that people should be putting thousands and thousands of dollars into a game unless they have huge disposable incomes and really support the vision and understand exactly what that vision is and what they're trying to do with it. And that vision is malleable to the community's will. And that's another thing that people need to understand, I think. Like, if enough people want something, that will change. Whether that be balance, whether that be game features, kind of whatever, whether that's a process that CIG do. Obviously, there's always going to be, no, that's stupid, we're not going to do that, or no, that wouldn't work. But we are the sort of like oversight. How did it feel to be on RtV? It was great to see me briefly in the canteen. So that was weird. It's like, yeah, they watch me. Sure, of course they do. Of course they do. There's probably nothing else on TV, mate. Beautiful egghead there. Yeah, Star Citizen is starting to focus on that network meshing, the server meshing this year. Network optimization is super important, as is Vulkan integration, as all of the core mechanics and that sort of stuff. And it depends. We have a very unique view at being testers for the game, effectively. People that want to play the game now, it's like we want updates that improve the gameplay now so we can see tangible improvement, whereas CIG have to balance that with general progress towards the end goal. Will they fix NPCs not working 7% of the time before March? So they've talked about potentially delivering smaller patches and hotfixes pre-March, pre-3.1, so potentially yes. Obviously, bugs that prevent major gameplay, bugs that prevent people playing, they have to be addressed ASAP. Like, that's unacceptable for things that could be patched and hotfixed to not be. So they will, I'm assuming, get all of that stuff done if they can. And I'll keep on at them for it, and I think we should, as a collective, do that anyway. But we'll know more when the new website goes live, which is at some point within the next couple of weeks, and the new roadmap and schedule as well. That should give us a bit more of an inkling. Question: will we buy NPCs or hire them like employees? Yes, you can hire NPC crew, you can hire NPCs to do jobs, you can hire NPCs for lots of different things. Not in 3.1, but potentially later this year we might be able to have some form of NPC interaction that's more than just fighting them and seeing them in the verse. We might have a little bit more, but they are working on it. AI subsumption is one of their big major mechanics that has caused the game to basically be delayed. It's everything. It's the economy, it's the NPCs, it's schedules, it's the combat AI, it's so much. On Spectrum, where do I write questions for the future RtV? There will be a thread that appears for it. Jesus, this game is still in the development stage. Why won't people understand it? I think they do. People do. CIG shoot themselves in the foot a little bit by hyping the releases of like 3.0. I mean, and I'm guilty of it as well as a content creator. They hype 3.0 and that sort of stuff and make it look like a polished product. They make it sound like a polished product, when it's not. It's still testing. It's a testing universe. Everyone's in testing until we have a beta for the game, and then it's when it's become beta, it's a sit down and play thing. It's going to be, oh well, let's see what this game has to offer. Abel, did Aaron say character customization was held back from 3.0 and therefore... Wait, yeah, so the potential is that it's probably going to be targeted for 3.1. Basically what he implied. What do you think the next great Isperia ship will be? Tavaran Fighter, maybe? I'd like to see a Tavaran Fighter. I'd like to see something from the Kurthak, to be honest. I'd like to see a proper Xi'an ship. There's lots of stuff I'd like to see from Isperia. What do you think about devs not playing the game they build? They do. I mean, the devs, I mean, some of the artists don't, and I'm sure that some of them don't, but QA, they do. The QA do play the game. That's literally what they do. I'm sure that some of them don't listen. I'm sure some of them do. Like I've seen Luke Presley, who's head of the Persistent Universe Live and Star Citizen Live. He comes into people's channels and watches all the streamers and talks to them about things he can put into the game and things that need to be fixed and that sort of stuff. And you're right, they can't properly balance and sort stuff out if they don't listen. They need to, CIG need to listen to both their QA, they need to listen to their testers, they need to listen to us and the community, and they kind of do. In the short term, sometimes they don't. Sometimes it takes a while for them to, like, honestly, you have to fix this, because they don't pick up on it or whatever. But I wish they were slightly more connected to their community on a... because they are connected to the community, definitely. They do respond. I just wish they were on the pulse, rather than you have to get a doctor's appointment and then go see the doctor, and then he tells you. Sort of thing. You're about to have relationships with NPCs. Probably not like, well, maybe romantic relationships, but you're about to have them like as friends and acquaintances, and build reputation with them, and like even people like Miles Eckhart and Ruto, you can have reputations with. But you also have to hire whole crews, but also more Pokemon-esque, higher level, better at stuff NPCs that you'll find around the verse as well. Network is one of the main problems for FPS. Apparently not so much. Like, obviously their tick rate is 30 FPS, and so they kind of target the game at 30, 60 FPS at the moment. There's loads of there's so many things at the moment that are super unoptimized for starters and causing various slowdown things. But yeah, bind culling, that's a major one. Object container streaming is a major one. Vulcans not being in there is a major one. General lack of optimization anyway. Whatever happened to character creation? We're hoping it comes with 3.1, but it would be really simple. It would just be like eyes, face, hair. Really simple changes. I mean, yeah, the character customization and the female toons, female model, they did very briefly talk about on RtV with Erin. And basically, yeah, the female model's still going to be in there, and you're going to be able to customize your character. That's basically what Erin said, although he implied that female model not for 3.1, but character customization potentially in for 3.1. Why did they make this performance a milestone patch when performance should come no matter what, along with content? Well, let's admit, I think that's a good point. I think it's going to be more of a general code optimization as well. So they're looking at neating up a load of the code, getting rid of all the old bullshit code, getting possibly some of that like Vulkan integration stuff in them. So I was hoping. We'll have to wait and see exactly what it is, but there's going to be network optimization and lots of stuff going into 3.1. They'll try and get everything they can in that's ready, and then obviously the rest will go into 3.2. And you're still going to have some big things for 3.1. It's just not as big as 3.2's current targeted build, which is going to have repair, mining, salvage, and all those sort of mechanics. Yeah, so the Evocati for that 3.1 build should start towards the mid to end of February. That's my expectation for that. Boop, boop, boop. I get between 30 and 55 FPS consistently every time I play. Noobafire, however, was getting 50 to 75 frames in the PU. And I've seen his footage and I've been like, wow, shit, son. Did you see how Luke and Nikki hopped into the stream from Twerk? It was amazing how they worked together with Twerk and the viewers to find and nail down bugs. And yeah, it's some of the CIG devs are great for literally jumping in with the community to help fix bugs, and yeah, some of them definitely have their finger on the pulse. It's just it needs to be at a level that the social media, the forums, official statements, and all that sort of stuff are just wham bam within half an hour of something becoming an issue or a problem or something being spotted. It's up there. They talk about it. My favourite ship is still the Reclaimer. It's a big salvage ship. It's going to be able to make a reasonable amount of money. Big economy ship. It's a treasure hunter. It looks very Nostromo-esque. It's a beautiful thing. It's got drones, big nom bay. When it comes to racing and Sandoval, is betting on races / team something planned or even allowed in game nowadays? I think it's a good question. Is it allowed? I think it's allowed. I'm not sure if betting in games with currency is the same as betting In fact, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to bet as long as it's with in-game currency, even if you've bought that in-game currency. I think that's like a way that around further ways of doing it. And I believe that one of the intentions was to have a terminal in Grimhex that would allow that was going to be like a race around Grimhex, but also it allowed you to bet on those races. So I think the intention is probably still to have betting on races, and hopefully we will have Saddleball at some point, about to bet on Saddleball matches. Object container streaming is one of the major optimizations for Star Citizen. The 3.0, one of the reasons it took a while and they had to literally smash down the old persistent universe and rebuild it, was because of object container streaming. This is like allowing areas of the game to of different sizes to have information about what they need to stream into your memory, and how to break areas down into more and more components, and how to send information to the other object containers. So with that you get massive optimizations, but also that allows for seamless planets and capital ships and multiple capital ships to have fights, and the correct data to be sent to the clients, and those clients to stream in the right data. When it comes graphically, it literally saves all the assets, tells them what assets they need, and all the other proximate assets of other object containers that are nearby. It's basically just severe optimizations for the game that we need. I have got some videos on it that explain it in depth, but it's good. Will we ever get our space whale? They've made the space whales concept. We've seen some pictures of them. So yeah, we probably will have space whales at some point. They probably will nom little auroras. Did you see the video on external GPUs I sent you, and do you agree they're not a good idea? I should hopefully be getting a external GPU to review and test. I did see the article, and basically saying that you lose a significant percentage of performance, and you would just from plugging the card effectively into a PCI Express slot. But I do want to test it myself, and see if it's a good solution for laptops with no graphics cards, or really low end graphics cards, but still have that whatever it is, USB-C port, whatever the hell it's called. Ba-ba-ba. Do you think there will be NPC Galactic Conquest type space battles between species? Potentially, there might be Vandal incursions. There will be story events. There probably will be Kothak versus Xi'an, or Xi'an versus humans. There'll definitely be like story events and stuff that are driven in the game as we go forward. So yeah, very likely. Which planned location are you most looking forward to visiting? I don't really know, to be honest. I quite enjoy Daymar is at the moment, to be honest, just running around Mars and chilling. I mean, I really want to see Terra and Earth, because they're going to be giant city planets that are beautiful. Those are the more shorter term. You got to want to see ArcCorp, haven't you? Really, it looks beautiful. It's the procedural city tech. It's the gold standard for procedural city tech. So. Do you think that the first RtV was a good format? I personally don't think it was. Okay. So I don't think they needed the bit at the front, which was the what's happening through the week or whatever. I would have liked to see them sit down with a load of devs and just like shoot the shit, chat about what they did in the week, talk about the game in general, have an interview with a particular person. So this week they had Aaron, but I'd like to see like whoever is available that is a key member of some sort of particular aspect of the game, whether that's Tony Zerovic or an IT guy or a QA or whatever, and then they have more focused questions towards that discipline, and then you could put any other like random chos that you wanted to talk about the week or whatever at the end, but I would keep it sort of like talking with devs, possibly have a subject they talk about in general, have a key member to like interview, and then at the end talk about what they're doing next week and stuff like that. I quite like RTV's format. Oh, you said ATV rather than RTV, didn't you? ATV, yeah, I think ATV is going to be relatively good format. I just want to see concise content quickly. So an hour ATV is too long. I want to see no more than 20 minutes of an ATV. I want quick, concise. This is what we did at the studio report this week. Wham, bam, bam. Frankfurt style. This is what the team did. This is what they did. Maybe a couple of little tiny 1 minute interviews with people, just saying bam, bam, bam. Interesting things. Little featurette maybe on a particular mechanic or something they've been working on. Like I love eye candy, and then done. Any other news? I don't mind the cycling between studios every week, and also now Squadron 42, the Persistent Universe, and a ship shape. That seems reasonable. I think that's a good idea, but not the length. I don't want an hour-long one where it's a huge amount of fluff. Because a lot of the stuff is sort of like, oh, we got 3.0 out and it was hard, and these are some of the challenges that we faced. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see that in an ATV, really. ATV, for me, is more concise information. But that might not be for everyone. That's kind of what I want. How will CIG respond to griefers, such as pirates that only want to kill? So a pirate that only wants to kill isn't technically a griefer. Griefers are people that are going out of their way to ruin your fun because they're dicks and they're not using it. Well, they might be using gameplay mechanics to do that, but they're not pirates for profit. They're pirates for ramming. They keep on ramming you. That's being a dick. If they're just a crazy pirate, that's not a griefer. So CIG are going to have various systems in play that will hopefully prevent pirates getting into some systems. There's going to be areas that are protected by turrets, by security, and that sort of stuff. And the repercussions for pirates getting caught will be really fucking high. So the idea is that the game system will police the and prevent pirates from doing anything they want. And they will have other game systems in there that kind of root out griefers. Yes, there may be... So for me, a griefer would be someone that has like 8 accounts and has loads of auroras on them and then just rams them from the starting zone into people's expensive ships in safe zones. Eagle6 Airsoft, thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. That's the sort of thing I see as griefing. Someone killing you on a mining site just because they're a pirate and unreasonable isn't griefing. I mean, it's not great gameplay because you want to be motivated by something that's not like, I want to murder! It's like, well, be motivated by money, be motivated by whatever. Play the game, try and win the game. And your win condition should be to make the most money. Good morning. Do you want to see more days of the life of Jared? Not particularly. I mean, I don't want it... I don't really care about that stuff. I like tangible content, but tangible sort of like information about game mechanics, about roadmaps, schedules, items that they've been working on, ship updates. I want to know more about where the game is, where it's heading, how things are going to be working. Do you think it's worth to grind out Alpha UEC to prepare for 3.1? No. I think it's worth playing it and chilling and understanding how the systems work. I don't think it's worth grinding because your Alpha UEC will be reset with every major patch and all your Alpha UEC purchases. So you buy anything, or you've got any Alpha UEC left from 3.0, it will get reset. Yeah, loads of fluff. I want less fluff. Some people might enjoy the fluff and enjoy the real feel of seeing the devs in like their natural habitats, which is cool and fine. I just think you can compress that into a lot less. Yeah, so they've talked about melee before, and I'm looking forward to melee stuff working, and fists and knives and butting people and that sort of stuff. I don't want PvP takedowns in Starmering, or really in the PU against players, unless they've got no weapons out. If a player hasn't got a weapon out, and someone else has got a weapon out and it gets behind them, I think a takedown is fine, because that would suggest to me that that player is unaware that player snuck up on them and they could do a takedown. But they're just issues that I have and worry about player hitting me in like a side box with a knife while I'm shooting him, and him doing a takedown move, like, and I'm like, what the fuck? That would really piss me off. Yeah, I know. I was in reverse the verse. I saw this in a similar style like I am now. Do you think the Prince Harry plays? Do you think that Prince Harry plays Star Citizen? And if not, we need to get him now. I think we can probably try and influence him to play it once the game's live. I'm fully out. Oh my god, such questions. People call anything griefing these days. Yeah, I think people worry about griefing. People worry about an action being motivated by griefing, but even if it's not, because it potentially could be, and you can't see the full side of it. When someone's done like a dick move to you in a game, it's easy to think that they're cheating or griefing or whatever. Pro fluffer. Do you feel we will see more systems anytime in the next year? We might see more systems in like a Gamescom or a CitizenCon kind of reveal or demo, or like a holiday live stream. I don't think we'll see more systems like solar systems in game this year. I do hope that we have the whole Stanton system at least roughly fleshed out by the end of the year, though. Did you hear that people have the problem as soon as they turned on the engine, the ship is moving forwards? No. I know people were having problems with that landing in a similar way, that the ship would edge forwards, but when you land, you turn off your power, and then that fixes it. I haven't had the same problem with the ship moving forwards. Love to see, hey, this is what we're working on, feature this month, here's concept, work in progress. Yeah. I'd very much like to see a monthly work in progress feature where they look through all the progress of new things that are coming out, or look to the future where they talk about the new mechanics. I'd love to see design documents on each of the mechanics updated, or a full talk on a design of a particular mechanic, and that mechanic can be ages away for all I care, as long as it's the updated design on it. No more. Oh, just Monica. We completed Ducky Ducky. Next week we're playing Black Watchman for the weekend, which is like an augmented reality puzzle game that we're going to be playing probably for the whole weekend. And anyone's more than welcome to join us when we do that. I think we're doing lots of VR stuff today, and probably some PUBG and things. Do you think they'll do sales during Valentine's Day again? Yeah, almost certainly. Suspect the same kind of sales rationale as we had last year. Oh, it's annoying because you get a crime stat for ramming things by accident. Have you noticed the lighting being better and colours more vibrant in the past few days? No, I haven't. But I'm not that visually aware, to be honest. I'll have to compare footage and videos. Is 3.1 what 3.0 should have been? I mean, 3.4 this year is what the original 3.0 should have been ages ago. Do you think CIG needs to tier their patches more like Christmas presents? AKA, don't tell us about how great it is until they give us... Oh, I see what you mean. So, should they keep stuff a surprise? No, they should tell us as and when. I mean, one of the main reasons that I want to support the game and love the project and the development of it is that they tell us as and when things are happening, and as and when they fail or get pushed back or get pushed forward or whatever. That's important. So Squadron 42, they can surprise us with the story and some of the cool things, but I want to know about mechanics. I want to know about where they are with the progress of each of the individual mechanics, systems, graphics, optimization for stuff. It's important for me. How will CIG combat money farmers? A common annoyance in MMOs. Yes, so there's going to be gold farmers in any game, definitely. Star Citizen are going to be regulating the sale of UEC, and expect it to be similar to like a Plex-like economy. So that actually helps alleviate gold farming to a reasonable extent. There's going to be like interesting risk reward with Star Citizen. It's not going to be as simple as a go here, do this, and then you can keep on doing the same thing. There's going to be times where horrible things happen or unexpected things happen, and I think that's one of the things that they will help prevent money farming in the sort of like way that you can do in MMOs, where you can just do a repeated task again and again and again. Do you think they'll have any more important minor updates to help performance before 3.1? Basically, Aaron said in his interview on RtV last night that, yeah, they can have hotfixes. Yes, they can have minor patches, which could include ships and other things as well between each of these quarterly release updates. So, potentially, yeah. Any news about the freelancers of 3.1? So, some of those ships I'm expecting to be ready for 3.1 and 3.2. But we'll know more once the schedule report goes live and the new website goes live in the next couple of weeks. Within the next couple of weeks, I suppose I should say. Yeah, I want some more mechanic info, and I want updated design documents. It's just so important. Yes, I run the game at 4K all the time. It doesn't affect my frame rate. The game is so unoptimized, and it does not affect my frame rate. Do you think any fixes will come to space bikes before 3.1? Yeah, potentially you could have a hotfix or a little patch for it. I mean, it's the sort of thing that needs to be fixed. The stuff, the ESP and the flight model that needs to be fixed. I'm hoping they're doing a hotfix as well. Have you looked into the Asus new monitors? Not the new ones, no. I will have a look, though. It's not worth grinding now. Unless there's something you want to buy with UEC, Alpha UEC now, or you're working out how the balance of the game works for money, whatever, or you're just really trying to understand missions and things, there's no point in grinding, really. Stuff will get reset with every major patch, Alpha UEC wise, and Alpha UEC purchase wise. But when 3.1 comes out, hopefully we'll have ships buyable in game with Alpha UEC, then it's worth grinding. At least grinding up to the level to get your ship you want. Will UEC be a universal currency throughout the verse, or will there be other types of currency? Now, there potentially might be other types of currency, but UEC is pretty much all you'll have to deal with. Do I think you should be able to make babies in game? No. Do you think there probably won't be children in the game at all either, because of people trying to murder children, lowering or raising the rates of games, and they're going to want it to be as universal as possible, so they get more of a player base. Do you think we will see people creating entire towns and housing communities with a pioneer? Yeah, 100%. People will make full corp and org bases and things like that. Didn't they say there is a roadmap today for the rest of the year? They said there was one coming in January and website update coming in January. Hopefully that'll be today, but it'll be some point over the next 2 weeks. Do you think that cargo in the future will have to be manually removed as by station outpost workers opposed to magically appearing and disappearing? Yes, that is the intention, that you have a time that it takes for cargo to be moved on and off your ship. You can move it yourself, hopefully with little forklifty trucks, but you can pay other people to do it as well. And then that time of loading and unloading cargo is factored into your cargo runs. How would you feel on deployable structures to defend orbital claims and stations? So we're going to have other structures that we can build on planets or place on planets that aren't just from the Pioneer. So like defense turrets and some of the mining things and some other pieces. There are going to be a range of other structures, probably smaller ones, that can also be placed. I would like to see a space station building ship as well, and I like the idea of being able to temporarily claim like areas of space and be able to deploy satellites, little defense turrets, maybe that sort of stuff in space. I like the idea. It needs to be balanced, needs to be thought about, needs to be a fun gameplay loop, and it needs to be relatively non-restrictive in, you can't just go, haha, I've owned the whole of space, fuck you. I want new players to be able to jump in and go, oh, this is really cool, I can attack here and I can do this. And digging caves, question mark. I don't know what that means. They have talked about procedural tech for underground caves and seas and stuff like that, and tunnels and things. I'm not sure where they are with it. They talked about not having deformation on the planets. You might be able to change like the soil on a planet for farming or an area, but they didn't want you to be able to like blow bits of planets up, so you wouldn't be able to dig in a traditional sense, or in any sense, I suppose. If the game is a U, then no sleazy bars and alien strippers. Yeah. You can always roleplay, LBM. Do a little special roleplay on Mumble, just you and me. Is it worth reporting bugs if you think they've already been submitted? Yes. You go to there, you search to see if they've already been submitted, and then you add to that report. Your additions to those reports help them prioritise, help them get more information, see it affecting a wider range of people, and will help you get picked for earlier PT phases and potentially the Evocati. Do you think we're about to rename our ships, or large ships like capital ships, to very identification name? Yeah, so the 600i was the first ship that they said, you can name these, and you have a little tag to name them. In the future, I think that all ships will probably be nameable. They're just, you only be able to use one name once, see what I mean? And potentially the ship's been destroyed. Or fully decommissioned. So the people want to get names before the people, sort of thing. Now, do you think we can create a base later that will start hired NPCs in fight wars to defend outposts on planets? Yeah, you'll be able to hire NPCs to defend your claims and stuff, and your bases. In fact, for some people that would be really important to do. Which planet is that on the background video? Anyway, it's Lear 3, part of the Lear system. It's not in the standard system. I mean, it might appear in a standard system or another system that it's not supposed to. But I'm expecting to see, well, I've got the Saturn system fully fleshed out, and then potentially the Odin system, which is the system they showed in the vertical slice, and then probably the Lear system as well. Those are the ones that are probably fleshed out a reasonable amount. Is there an indication what will be more important, CPU gigahertz or CPU cores? They are making the game as scalable as possible on multiple CPU cores as we move forward. And with Vulkan integration, that's only going to get better and better and better. So, with that in mind, single core performance will be less important than it is now. And with the meltdown bug anyway, it might be worth genuinely thinking about an AMD processor. I'm really sorry to anyone that is like, how dare you fanboy for Intel or AMD? But normally I'm really pro Intel, but Meltdown has upset me due to loss of performance in encoding. But I don't really know yet. It's a really hard thing to say when Star Citizen it just isn't optimized at all yet. It's not near a finished game. I wouldn't try and build a rig for Star Citizen now unless you are a content creator or someone that benefits massively from having a rig to build Star Citizen. Wait for it to be optimized. It will be significantly more optimized in 3.1. And CPU probably won't be as important as you think. Like, you don't need the top end CPU to run the game. You'll be fine with like a i5 or i7 4th gen Intel CPU sort of thing. If I remember correctly, Mr. Huckabee said that we'll have the ability to build landing platforms on planets. Yeah, you'll be able to build landing strips and landing pad things. But have they addressed people grabbing multiple claim spots together? No, you're going to have to do that. You're about to do that. They said in the Q&A, though, that they'll have something in there to prevent people from blocking areas entirely off that you wouldn't want blocked off. So, like, areas into cities or the ability to get to your claim and stuff like that. My 315p is so unplayable, I can't play at the moment. And CIG never seemed to talk about Origin much anyway. Their rework potentially could be coming in 3.1, if not 3.2, probably. What you're thinking that Star Citizen is pay to play? It is pay to play. You have to pay and buy the game, a game package to play it. Has there been any word when the Reclaimer's Q&A will be released? No. I suspect we will see a lot more on the Reclaimer within the next month or two. Question, or being able to wall those claims together or build larger landing areas for Idris-sized ships. You're probably going to be able to put multiple landing areas together. They talked about the Pioneer building the landing strips and landing pads in multiple sections, so it wouldn't just be a single outpost size box. It might be like 4 or 6 of them. So yeah, you'll be able to do that sort of stuff with the Pioneer, or somehow. You probably won't actually need proper landing areas, if you see what I mean. Hangars are probably going to be more important than a landing area. For a landing area, you just need a large flat space, which you can just have if you find the right area. So you're probably about to, yeah, you're potentially about to build walls. They haven't talked anything about walls really yet. Potentially about to build roads and things. We'll see more. They're actually planning to have the land claim, I believe, potentially survey in this year. So, oh, you're a fucking small ball. That bug is so annoying to people as well. The Invisible Man small ball bug. That needs to be hotfixed like ASAP. If it's not something's not done by the end of next week, I'll inquire more, because that needs to be fixed, or they need to say, look, this is why, or we are working on it, but, or whatever. Are those racer chairs good value? So this chair cost me 60 quid on eBay, or something like that. And it's incredibly good value, this one. Like, you can find the budget versions, but still good quality. You can find the cheaper versions if you look around. Just check other people's reviews of products. So this is a very cheap version of that. I don't expect it to last as long as like the $300-400 pound chairs or whatever, but this will last me probably another 6 months. 3 to 6 months. That's what I need out of it, and then I buy another one or a similar one, or wait until I get sponsored for a chair. Oh my god. And I'll just be like, oh my god, every time I make videos and stream, I love sitting down on my nice comfy chair. Oh, you can buy one too. Oh my god, I think I'm being raided by Matachi. Love your face, Matachi. Blah, 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 blah. How's it going, bro? No, I'm not sponsored by a chair manufacturer, but I wish I was. I'd love to be able to sit down and go, this is sponsored by Chair Chairs, the comfiest chairs for playing games. I mean, I'm a relative sellout in some areas, but not in others. Like, I have to really like a product to be able to shill for it. I suppose then it's not shilling, is it? Oh man, see, I'm today after this stream, I'm taking a little break for Star Citizen for the weekend. Gonna play some PUBG as well, some VR games, mess around with some stuff. I bet anything my mates are going to say they want to try out Star Citizen. That's what it's going to be. It's the only weekend I've taken off in ages. I don't know much about chairs or lazy boys or clubmans or whatever. I don't know what they are. New Ryzen Plus CPU is going to be released in April with better clock speeds and faster memory support up to 4,000 MHz. Yeah, and AMD will be a lot more comparable and competitive, well, more competitive with Intel now even in single core apps, but are hopefully going to be significantly better in multi-threaded apps as well, and just loads of cores and stuff. So yeah, I mean AMD could be seeing a real push for gaming. Let's wait until April and then we can have a look. I think it's pretty soon. No, I mean, I had 5 chicken dinners last week in groups. I don't play first person, I play third person. I don't play single player either. I'm only playing groups of 4 or 2. They had some pretty good games. The gunplay is so much better in PUBG after the patches. So. Do you think they will try and find another way to help our friends in need in faraway systems instead of immersion breaking NPC brain transfer? What, the engine smithing? No, I think the engine smithing is probably quite a good idea. And they are always going to go for fun over immersion. But immersion, obviously, and fidelity and stuff is important to the game as well. But they are going to go for fun and player base rather than real and physics and that sort of stuff. We know people can grow food. How big of a deal do you think eating and drinking mechanics should be eventually? I think that eating and drinking shouldn't affect players. I think the way I do eating and drinking is you have it as a commodity that you can buy and sell. You have it affecting the larger ecosystems on planets. If there's not enough food there, they get pissy. And I think that NPCs should need to eat and drink. Or, if they don't need to eat and drink, then when you hire them, they are effectively cheaper if you have facilities on your ship and stocks of food and drink. Otherwise, they assumed that they charge you more money, but they go and get their own. That is the way I would do it. Also, you could potentially have slightly more survivally mechanics by, if you crash on a planet, you can occasionally get a mission where before you can send a service beacon out or a distress signal, you have to find water, find a source of food, and find a material to repair your antenna or something. And then you can put out a signal. Any word if player hangars will be near social hubs, or could they be built on land claim bases? Interesting. I don't 100% know. We'll definitely see them on planets and social hubs. I'm hoping we see them on land claims and bases. Because they could potentially have buildings in the future, or outposts in the future, that go under the ground. They don't need to deform the planet for that. They literally just go, well, build downwards. And I would like to see hangars that ATC your ship away. So they go, yeah, this hangar's underground. You land on it, it takes your ship away, and then it can bring your ship back up, or other people's ships back up from there, the underground hangar that's presumed to be there. Do you think we'll be able to blockade certain areas or parts of big cities or outposts like mining facilities? Yeah, so you could probably be able to do that on certain areas. Probably not like the starting zones, although you could probably do some sort of peaceful protest. You'd be in the more like outlawry zones or less UEE patrolled zones. I suspect people will blockade on the ground as well as in space. Yeah, I suspect we'll see blockades. And then people coming to deal with the blockades. Interesting thing is that Ryzen can do 25% higher IPC than Kirby Lake in highly optimized code. Did you say that Star Citizen, when it's up and running, will be taking advantage of more cores than single core performance? Yeah, they're moving on to more cores now anyway, but they said they'd scale up Star Citizen for as many CPU cores as possible as we move forward. So it's going to get better and better and better for multiple threads. Bring back the old Morty ship hangers. Yeah, I do want them as well, but I think what they're going to do now is they're moving on to trying to integrate everything into the persistent universe. So we'll see hangers and everything like that in the persistent universe. Do you think character customization will make it in 3.1, or just face it, or just face, or do they plan to do body options too? I don't think we'll see body options in the... We might see tattoos and things maybe, but you won't see like the changes of sizes and weight, body size, because your Squadron 42 military sort of body. They're just keeping one body, I believe. One body for the men and one body for the women. But 3.1, if it has character customization, which hopefully it will be very basic. It will be like hair, eyes, some skin stuff on your face. Just very basic, done. Thank you. I'm feeling very tired and a little bit sick, actually. So I'm not going to stay around for too long.
Many spaceships.
Well, maybe I'll stay around longer. Oh my god, I love your face. Pengman19, thank you very much. That is a lot of money. Thank you very much for the donation. Jeez. I just said I'm thinking about going. No, stay for a bit longer. Thank you so much. If there's anything I can do for you, please drop me a message on Discord if you want to shout out for anything. We want some love. With that in mind, talking about shout outs and love, BritisonCon. If anyone is available to come to BritisonCon and does not have tickets, please come down. It's going to be by Manchester Airport in the Radisson Blu Hotel on the 21st of April. Tickets are available from britainCon.uk. I will be there, Brian Chambers will be there, Aaron Roberts will be there, loads of Star Citizen fans will be there, and a bollock ton of devs. Aaron or Chris, for what? To eat? To marry? To make love with? I mean, what do you want from me? Aaron is more accessible. Intel got advantages like better memory. Yeah. We'll have to see with the next gen where that brings us. Oh, KPBW. One day, bro. One day we shall meet and drink. Well, at least I'll drink. With your ship spawning without engines and stuff, you have to reclaim them from the ship claim terminal. Hopefully that will fix them. Why, when we have cargo and the economy base patch in 3.0, do they give subscribers a retaliator that has 0 cargo space? That is a very good question. I would like to see ships with cargo in the... Yeah, you want gameplay relevant ships, don't you, for the subscribership? So yeah, it's fine to give the retaliator, but also give us some form of cargo ship. This is all the stuff that you should hear, because it's a good idea. Follow-up question. Do you think we'll see an extensive character creator like in MMOs such as Black Desert or Aeon Online in the future? Probably not. We'll see a character creator, and we'll see a good level of feature changes. I mean, we've seen some of that facial tech, and we know that you can like Frankenstein someone together with loads of different features, and I think that's going to be a good level of customization, and it's going to be very realistic customization, but it's not going to be as extensive as some of those other games that allow you to do unrealistic combos. This is going to make sense with your facial structure and your skull structure and everything, that when you move particular bits around and make bits larger or smaller, it makes your face make sense and changes the muscles, and so that it all aligns up with the face-over IP and voice-over IP. And because of that, you're probably not going to be able to have as much editing as some of these other games, because it has to be realistic. But you're going to have a good amount of editing, and it's going to be probably pretty unique compared to a lot of other games, because it's going to be hyper-realistic. Escape from Tarkov is heart racing. Have you tried it yet? I haven't actually played it. I've only watched other people play it. I had the alpha and wasn't allowed to talk about it at the time, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna fucking play that. I can't talk about it or stream it. Meh. Do you have any info on the Gemini F55 light machine gun? Only the picture of it. Bring this picture up. Sorry that I'm quite yawning. Looks cool. It looks like what I assumed an assault rifle would look like in Star Citizen, but obviously this is supposed to be a light machine gun. It's cool. Got that rocket launcher as well. Oh my god, rocket launcher. We're still spawning without engines. Can you not try and move the engines around with the Mobigas app? Sorry, I'm sure you already tried all this before. In yesterday's RtV, Aaron was very vague with what features 3.0 might include. What's your best guess that they could be? Don't entirely know. Character customization, the ability to buy ships, lots of iteration and improvement on stuff like missions, so war missions. They want to get AI combat and ship combat as improved as possible, stuff like that. So a lot of tightening up features that we already have and additions to them. Obviously more ships. The service beacons is what they wanted to put in, it sounds like, as well. So that's the distress signals and the ability to go, help me, I'm on a planet, or come in here and I'll give you UEC. There's a lot of other stuff we potentially could have, but we don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's in 3.2 that might make it in 3.1. Scanning is what I'm hoping for in 3.1 as well. We know the scanning mechanic was almost ready for the Squadron 42 vertical slice, but not quite. We will probably see. Well, there's going to be loads of optimization that they're doing as well. We'll know a lot more once we have the schedule report updated and the new website within the next couple of weeks. If possible to buy property on Earth, do you think you can do it where you live now or just in big cities? It will probably be apartments in big cities if you can buy anything, because it will be a city planet. Any news on the Polaris? Not any new news, no. Do you know if we could have... Yeah. There's the potential to have minor updates, hotfix patches, and ship patches, and lots of other little updates as well in between their quality reschedules. They've already said that. Is the game currently at all playable without a super rig? So the super rigs don't necessarily cut it. It's there's a load of optimization issues that just plague certain people or certain things. So even with a medium level rig, you can sometimes get 30 frames plus in the PU, the same as I could with my super rig. So 1060 is all you need. It's not a sit down and play game yet, Star Citizen. It's very much a test. It's a great project to follow. It's a great project to join in and play with. But you are basically a volunteer QA. You're playing these things to help evolve the mechanics. It's not a sit down and play game yet, so be aware of that. I'm really sorry. Is there any more questions? Because if there's nothing in particular, I am going to go and eat breakfast and then go and nap. I feel really fucking rough. And my French, sorry. I'm quite sweary. How long do you think until we get in-game voice or VoIP? Good question. The Faceware cameras, I'm just going to go check on their Twitter actually, are supposed to be going on like pre-sale. Twitter, not Twitch.
You can't handle the me by eBuyer after the overclockers.
Bad random Twitch stream. Faceware. Faceware stuff. Video capture. Faceware real time for iClone brings the undead to life. Known today, performance capture, best practices for tutorials. To stream live video from Faceware Pro HD. Faceware for iClone. Okay, so they haven't released details of their stuff yet. Okay, but we'll see that camera probably go on pre-sale and pre-order in January at some point, and we should get some more details of VoIP and VoIP at some point this month. Again, with the roadmap as well, that should be giving us some extra details there. I do expect us to see first iteration of VoIP and FoIP this year. Any idea when the Carrack will get into the game? Some point in 2018, almost certainly. I'm expecting like 3.3, so September time maybe, realistically. I do have Dauntless flares. Zero loaded, whatever your fucking name is. Message me on Discord and I'll drop you one. If anyone else has Dauntless, if you desperately want a flare of my face, you can drop me a message on Discord. How important will research be? Do you think there will be research trees for better weapons, armor plating, and are they expandable with alien tech? I don't know how research is going to work, or if it's going to be in-game in that sense. They haven't really talked about research in that sort of sense. So, I don't know. Is there a chance, don't ruin my dreams, that a 3.1, 8 gigs of pleb RAM could be enough for low settings? Potentially. 8 gigs of RAM is such on the low end of gaming at the moment as well now. If you can push up to 12, you'll have a much better experience. 16 is kind of what you're really aiming for. What happened to the Pegasus? Pegasus is still a thing. It's just probably not gonna. Well, maybe it will appear in Squadron 42 episode 1. I'm expecting to see it like in episode 2, along with the no, what's the it's something retribution. So Vulcan is based on more of the AMD tech back in the day, but it should work pretty well with both. I'd like to see your weekly CIG feedback on game-breaking bugs. I am starting to do those state of the games, so I will. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I'll do something else that's a little bit different. That focuses on stuff that I think CIG need to get sorted quickly. I'll think about that, okay? Anything else? With the focus of 3.1 being on quality of life, do you think we'll start hearing about object container streaming or culling in ATV soon? So object container streaming is going to be more 3.3 to come online fully, I believe. Bind culling though, and that sort of stuff could be 3.1 fully. So anything else? See, as long as there's less than 20 players in the server, I get like 50, 60 frames, or around 50 frames. It doesn't really go up to 60 for me. I have seen Noobify get 75, which is insane. And then as soon as you get over that like 20 threshold, and the server's been live for more like a couple of hours, then it starts to dip to the 35 to 45 kind of range. And then at like towards the end of a server's life, or like max filled servers, I get like 20 to 25 consistently. I don't seem to have the same sort of issues that other people have. I mean, for me, 20 frames isn't really acceptable, but obviously significantly better than people that are getting 13 frames or 5 frames or whatever. I'm going to go eat and get some sleep. Thank you very much for the subs and the donations. Jesus, that was big donation. Thank you so much for that. I love your face, but as I said, drop me a message if you want to shout out for an org or something, or if there's anything I can do for you. I very much appreciate the amount of support I've received on Patreon and with subs and with those donations. Like, they make a massive difference. At the moment, my room is like horrible. Don't know if you can see that, but my walls are all made of this horrible blue wood chip, and I want one. The room's awful behind as well. Like, there's plaster and stuff that's damaged. So I'm gonna strip all the walls of that wood chip, replaster the entire room, and then repaint it a neutral colour that looks good on YouTube, and then use my room for more things. So I can do hardware reviews and hardware reviews and lots of other stuff around the room, and for it to generally just look better. It's an office that I use every day. It'll be very good to just have it a bit more upbeat and looking nice. And then I'm also going to soundproof it at the same time, which will allow me to do better videos and have better sound quality and do streaming and videos anytime I like without having to worry about the neighbours. I'm an insomniac, and I have a very erratic sleeping pattern as well. So being able to make videos anytime I want, it basically just doubles my productivity, which will be great because then I can record whenever the hell I want. Yeah, thank you so much for all the support. Right, let's go and see if someone else is streaming Star Citizen that we want to host. Oh, that's me. Got a picture of my own face. This beautiful, handsome egg. We're going to go host Twerk because we love his face a lot. Thank you so much, guys, for all the support. If you've got any suggestions for videos, anything you want me to look at or cover, drop me a message on Discord or email or whatever, and I'll check it out. Please check out BritishCon on the 21st of April. It's going to be a great UK Bar Citizen event. Also, on the 9th of March, I'm going to be up in Winslow and the Foundry 42 offices. But afterwards, from 5 PM onwards, we're doing a Bar Citizen in the Old Dancer. So anyone that is in the Manchester area or nearby, or they can come down from 5 PM till as late as they want, because we'll be there until like 2 AM in the morning. Please come down. I'll try and bring some BoredGamer swag that you can have for free if I can find anything. But it will be just a big Bar Citizen and dev meetup, and everyone get drunk and chat. That's the idea anyway. But thank you so much. I love your faces so much. Let's see if there's any more questions quick. Yes, so the Alpha UEC should reset with 3.1 coming in March. I think on the 15th of January, the shop buyback tokens are coming in as well, so be aware of that. Will you have, or have you ever done starter packages giveaways? Yeah, I can start doing them on the stream more often. I mean, I used to do them on the channel, but now we do larger ships on the channel. I don't need to do augmented reality porno. Just do reality porno, dude. All good. / fiction porno, yeah. So is the Endeavour with the Super Collider module a lost cause? No. The Super Collider module is important. It's overclocking. And overclocking is going to be a major mechanic for tweaking items, weapons, systems. I've got the Super Collider module and an Endeavour. So I'm with you. It's not going to be a lost cause. It's just they don't talk much about science, and I want to start seeing design documents on each of those science and farming and Endeavour aspects. Any news on the fix for the inventory bug? Ship components. Why I'm watching BoredGamer at 1:15 AM. No, other than hopefully they should be getting some hot fixes to fix some of those major issues, and I'm hoping they get them done very soon. Like that, the ball bug. The ship's not spawning with all their components. You're having to reclaim them. Someone was saying earlier that literally components weren't working on their ship, like the engines weren't there and stuff. That sort of thing, that has to be hot fixed. It has to be if it's affecting more than one person, because that's just frustrating as hell. It will be all items bought with Alpha UEC as well that will get reset, and with every major patch. Yes. Love you guys. Let's go host Twerk. We're going to go raid the trucker. Or toast him, whatever. But thank you very much for all the love. Thank you for all the love and the money and the views and the eyes and the feedbacks. And I'll see you, I'll probably stream again later today. I don't know how to stop. I'll have a nap. I love you. Bye.